Hey, how's everybody doing? We're back. This is your boy G, and I'm with
D.
Hey, and we told you, hey man, after everything we heard today about what's going on with Starbucks and everything, one of the things we wanted to try is, man, one of the things we like is the lime cake, and actually the lemon cake. Mm-hmm. And so we went and searched around and found a couple of recipes that we think we like, and we made it for you. You saw that. Now we frosted the cake, and now we're going to cut the cake and see what we have here. So we have two types. We have gluten-free and we have a gluten. So we're going to see what they taste like. So before that, we're going to go ahead and say a blessing over the dessert we're going to have, and then we're going to talk to you a little bit, and then we're going to let you go, okay? All right. So, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. In Christ's name, we give praise and thanks. Amen. Amen. All right, so let's cut. No, that's too big of a piece. What are you doing?
Save time, I just cut it once.
I'm going to cut a small piece here.
Really?
Let's see what we got here.
Are you not expecting it to taste good or something?
I don't know. I really don't know what I expect here. But we're going to see. I cut a small piece. See what it's going to be like. See if I can get it out of there. Oh, you got yours on up out of there, huh? That first piece is always the hardest one. Maybe I should have grabbed the big piece. Here it is. Pull it on out of there. Look at it. I got it on the plate. There we go.
Oh. I guess it's... Should
What
have
do you think?
I guess I should
Need
have
some
had
ice
maybe
cream
some
with it,
Tim
huh?
Hortons.
Yeah.
Should have made me some Tim Hortons.
Let's see what we got here. See what it tastes like.
That lemon. Now with mine, I wanted more lemon flavor, so you used 2 tablespoons of lemon. Is it lemon or lemon zest that you use in the recipe?
I use lemon and lemon zest.
No, I know, but in one you use 2 teaspoons, and yours and you use 2 tablespoons.
Tastes pretty lemony. It tastes pretty good. And one thing I noticed was
more lemony.
is, man, the recipe said call for it as much lemon as you like. I'm gonna cut me a big piece out of it now. Then I know what it tastes like. The cake is done. See if I can lift it out of there. And it's not dry. It's not dry at all. I'm surprised. Normally I make a pound cake is a big bundt type pound cake. Not one small like this. But it tastes.
Frosting's really good.
The texture of the gluten-free looks pretty good.
Yep, tastes pretty good too.
So, if you want to make something that's close or tastes just like Starbucks, man, this is really good. You can make this as lemony as you want. I got plenty of lemon and lemon zest in here, and it came out pretty good. I gotta pat myself on the back 2 times. I cooked 2 of them, so that's pretty good.
I think ice cream with this would be a bit much.
I think some coffee.
But some
coffee. Some coffee would be great with this.
Tim Hortons. Or some
So
what's that? 8 o'clock? I think I'm gonna go back to 8 o'clock.
So we were talking about what was happening with Starbucks, and one of the things we like is this lemon cake that they make. But we said, well, hey, based on how they act, you know, maybe we need to figure out how to make our own cake. So they won't be bringing me none anytime soon. They used to stop by and bring me a couple slices, you know, when they would stop off at Starbucks. So I don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. We'll see.
So I wonder if we try like freezing it and thawing it out. The
recipe said you can flash freeze it, cut it up, put it on sheet pan, cookie sheet, freeze it for like 2 or 3 hours, then come back, wrap it up, and then you can store it for.
What do you mean flash freezing it?
You take it, you slice it up, then you put the slices on like a cookie sheet. Then you put them in the freezer and you let it freeze for like 2 or 3 hours. And then you come back and you wrap each individual slice up and say it'll last, up to half a year or better.
What?
Yeah.
And so, this Starbucks DIY has been a success.
Well, if you want to too.
Because actually, I couldn't eat the Starbucks one because I can't eat wheat. I can't eat gluten. So, I mean, you're the one who always ate their cake. I could never eat any. So for me, I mean, this is really good.
Yeah, you never had it.
I just used to sit there and watch him eating and
wonder what it tastes like.
Wonder what it tastes like. Be sitting there going, oh, that must taste good, and eat me applesauce.
I got a little more tart. I got a little more tart than this icing on they got.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that lemon is delicious.
I mean, that lemon.
It really is. It's
fresh squeezed lemon juice, man. I tell you what.
That lemon is delicious. Delish.
So this will work.
Yeah, well. Especially if you
can freeze this dog a hunt.
You can yeah, you can freeze this and I could have, I mean, you won't have to fix me none for different holidays. I probably could just microwave for what, 20 seconds or something? Cake.
Sorry, see if I can imitate one of these other ones. See if there's some good recipes I can use to imitate the
I'm curious what it is. I can't really clean my palate at this point, but I think it'll be okay without frosting in it. With a cup of coffee.
That was good. That's real good.
Yeah. So.
That lemon wake me up, man. Like, that's what you need in the morning time. Because I'd have it with a cup of coffee. And that's all right.
Yeah.
I just decided to go ahead and make it gluten-free because the recipe said you can make it gluten-free, just use gluten-free flour, right? They had some recommendations on the flour, but I figured, we already use gluten-free flour, so I went ahead and figured I'd just go ahead and substitute it and see what it would look like.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Let me have a small slice of that gluten-free so I can see what it tastes like.
Oh, I just happened to I cut mine in half, so
yeah.
I already have one.
Let me taste it. Let me compare the differences. I can compare it. I just want to see what it tastes like.
About to lose it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me try it.
Might have more lemon because you gave me more lemon zest.
Actually, the gluten-free is a little bit more moisture than the gluten, than the real flour. It's a little bit more moist. I put the same ingredients in on different flour, but it actually is a little more moisture. Not that one's dry, but this one is more moisture. Believe it or not. Cooking at the same time.
Yeah, they were in the same oven.
That might be, this one right here might just be a little bit better than this one. Wow. So I found another cake recipe for you.
So, if you're curious about gluten-free flour, I like Pamela's, and it's like 1-to-1 to regular flour.
Yeah, 1-1. Well, it's only a cup and a half of flour to make that bun.
Yeah.
That bun. I mean that little pan.
And they've come along. It's been a long ways. Because when I first found out I have, I was sick for like 7 years before they figured out I had gluten allergy, and they were gonna try all kinds of stuff on me before we found out it was actually a gluten allergy. They had nothing for gluten allergies. There was no flours. There was no. It was like, girl, eat your lettuce and say that's it. You know, it was like lettuce. Eat your lettuce. Eat your salad. Eat your salad. Salad. You know, because they didn't have any. There was no gluten-free bread. There was no gluten-free flour. There was no gluten-free nothing. Everything had. Because if you have a gluten allergy, which is an allergy to wheat, you usually have an allergy to soy. Well, if it doesn't have gluten, it most generally has soy. So it was like, shoot, cake was not an option. But not only cake, I mean, it was like no bread. It was no. You go in restaurants, they usually had something that had wheat in it. I mean, I would at that time, even about 4 or 5 years in, we went to a restaurant that they couldn't even give me a salad. Like everybody else was able to get something to eat, and they were like, well, it would be hard to like go social because people would be like, well, what can you eat? And I'm like, let's just go anywhere. I could have a salad anywhere. And we literally went to a restaurant that couldn't even give me a salad. So they were like, well, we could give you some lettuce. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, like crackers, like cheese and crackers and stuff like that. She used to love to eat that kind of stuff.
I used to love
like
cheese and crackers.
Now she couldn't have it. So when she first got diagnosed with it, you know, and it took a while for them to figure out what it was. And man, she would just get so sick. And so there, you know, for Christmas time, you know, we did a lot of baking, pies, and cakes and stuff like that for Christmas and Thanksgiving. There for about 2 or 3 years, it was like bare bones because she couldn't eat anything. So anything I fixed, because normally on the holidays, I cook on the holidays. You know, I cook the bird, dressing, the desserts. I do the whole 9 yards. You know, homemade rolls. I did everything.
That was our marriage agreement,
right?
Because for holidays, he would have the time. I mean, he's a good cook, so. One holiday he messed up. It was Thanksgiving. We were just starving. We were like, man, when is dinner going to be done? Because he was just in there all day. That stuff was so pretty. We hated to cut it, you know. It was beautiful. So we ate dinner and the family took a vote. And we said, from now on, you're cooking on holidays.
And so... But you know, we cooked, you know, everything that, you know, all traditional stuffing and stuff like that has got flour, and stuff like that in there. She couldn't have it, so you know,
no dressing.
So
it's my favorite thing.
So therefore, for a couple 3 seasons, we couldn't figure out what we were going to eat.
And some turkeys actually had gluten in it.
Yeah,
I don't know why they had
whatever
it in
there, whatever they based that turkey in, you know, it have some kind of flour base or something like that. A lot of stuff. You know, that has gravies, natural gravy and stuff. They use flour for thickening agent or wheat.
Yeah.
And so,
or to make it last longer.
Yeah.
Because even I got to the point where, well, first of all, like being sick for 7 years, and then come to find out, one of the doctors, he kept telling me, you couldn't have, because one of my friends kept saying, I swear you have celiac, which is gluten allergy, because she had it, and she was African American. Well, and she kept saying, I swear you have it. And I said, well, I asked my doctor, well, could I have that? He said, no. He said, it's typically Caucasian or only white person has that. Minorities don't have it, or African Americans don't have it. So I was like, wow, But he didn't tell me in the beginning that was why he thought I didn't have it. I assumed that he had run a test and knew that I didn't have it because he had run a test. But when he told me that was the reason that he thought that I didn't have it, I was really upset because I was like, what? I've been sick all this time. And in my history, my family background, we've got Indian, African American, and Caucasian, and, white. So, and we're from Louisiana. So I'm like, what if he would have told me that? So now, every time I go to the doctor, I check all the boxes.
Yeah,
check all the boxes because I'm like, don't be telling me.
It would make her really sick.
I would be really sick. He could go to work in the morning and I'd be fine, and he'd come home and it would be like
wiped out.
It'd be about 12, 1 o'clock. My heart started racing, and I seemed like I couldn't swallow quite right. Then I would be clammy, and then after a while I started realizing, then I started thinking, am I allergic to chicken? Because it seemed like I would have chicken, fried chicken.
Fried chicken
has flour
in it.
And I started thinking, wow, how come all of a sudden I'm allergic to fried chicken? Because I've started making a diary. What happens to me when this happens,
And the doctor was telling us to go on a bland diet of crackers and noodle soup, right? Well, if you got noodles or anything with pasta, guess what? It's made
wheat.
out of flour, wheat.
Yeah.
And so we were doing everything wrong. So we just decided upon ourselves that, hey,
they were going to give me what is it? Oh, I had a hysterectomy because they thought it was
a gastric pump was what they was going to give you.
Well, first of all, they said, hey, you should have a complete hysterectomy because they thought because it would happen to me at the end of it would happen at the end of the month.
So it seemed like it was a physical female type thing. And that's what they assumed.
Because what it was is the gluten was adding up all month long.
Right.
And then it would get to a point where it just, then they were like, well, you're not emptying your stomach. It's diabetic related.
Because it winds up hurting the small villi or whatever is in your stomach. It damages those, so it can't. So your stomach doesn't digest your food and doesn't take in the nutrients. It's kind of like the food just stays in your stomach, and the stomach and kind of like spoils in there, and so. And then what happens is after she would go without food, because she would just empty out, man. She would just let everything out. She couldn't hold anything down, water, nothing for about for 24 hours. She would just let everything loose.
I went from like a size 10 to a size 6.
Yeah, she lost a lot of weight.
Then he started complaining about, man, I see your rib cage, and I'm like, I was
scared.
getting so.
I got scared, so we just said, hey. I don't know what these doctors doing. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and treat this like it's a gluten allergy, and we're gonna look for everything that's wheat, and we're just gonna stay away from it. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And so she started getting better and better, and then we went back, and he said, "I don't know what's going on. Why are you're gaining weight again? What are you doing?"
No, we found this doctor. His name. Well, the doctor who first said that it was because. He said I couldn't have it because I was African American.
Yeah.
He called another doctor, and I'll never forget his name was Adrian Dan.
Yep.
And that doctor was so kind, and he said, I'll see you right away. And he came out in the waiting room and said to me, give me just a minute. Just let me finish with this patient, and I'll be out. I never had a doctor do that before. Came out in the waiting room, and I'm the last minute patient, and he said, I'm going to run all these tests again, and we're going to find out. And he said, because they were talking about putting this new pump in my stomach that was supposed to be like a pacemaker.
Put electrode.
Because they were saying, well, your stomach's not digesting the food. It's not churning your food like it needs to. So we're going to put this pump in there, and it's going to pump for
scary,
you.
Y'all.
And then the thing is, I said, okay, so if it's like a pacemaker, what happens when the battery quits? They said, there's nothing else we could do once it quits. And I'm like,
then
what?
You gotta get like a colostomy bag or something like that.
So we were like, oh no. Like, so we had to start a prayer chain then, but it was like,
we're gonna treat it like gluten. We're gonna stay away from everything wheat. So we read the labels on everything. Every now and then we would trip up and miss something, and she would get sick. And then
we wouldn't miss something. We would go to a store, and I would say to people, hey, I have a gluten allergy. And you come to find out, a lot of people didn't know what that meant,
Yeah,
even in the food industry. And I went to a restaurant and I let the cook know I have a gluten allergy.
We had to be
and
real
and then
careful.
And the cook said, "I'll take care of you." And when I called ahead, and then when he came, he fixed my food and stuff. And then as soon as I got wheat in my, and I told the waitress, "Hey, I have a gluten allergy." And as soon as I put it in my mouth, I said, "Uh-oh." Because when I put it in my mouth,
I could just feel it. Everything.
And my heart started palpitating, and I started feeling, like, okay, something's wrong. And I said, I had some wheat. And so I called him the next day, and the waitress, she kind of got sarcastic when I said, I have a gluten allergy. I really have a gluten allergy. Could you let the cook know I'm here and stuff? So she comes and brings me a salad with croutons on top of it, and I just said I had a gluten allergy.
So the thing to do is when you say, okay, I got a gluten allergy, I can't have croutons, but they just take the salad.
She took it back and took the croutons off. Out. And the reason I found that out was because I called the cook the next day, and he said, no. He said, wait a minute, no, I handled your food myself. There's no way. And I said, the waitress brought me my salad out with croutons in it, and I told her. He said, oh, there it went, because the waitress takes care of the salad. She takes care of the salad herself. So she just took it off. And I was that allergic that just the crumbs being still on my plate, she just took it away and took the crumbs off. So from that day forward, if somebody brought me croutons on top of my salad, I would say, because I feel like some people don't know what that means, I would say, I can't have any croutons. It's not good enough to say I have a wheat or gluten allergy, because they don't know what that means. So now I say, okay, I'm allergic to croutons and anything has bread in it. Anything breaded.
So consequently,
keep your plate.
So you go to places that serve, I give you bread before we quit eating bread.
Don't even bring it to our table.
Even though I could have it, I wouldn't have it. If we ordered a salad and it come with croutons, I would order my salad with no croutons, so they wouldn't make no mistake.
Yeah.
And we do that today. And I rarely eat bread. Only time I eat bread if there's bread substitute here for her. If there's no bread substitute here for her at the house, I won't eat anything with bread, like a sandwich or a hamburger. I'll just eat a burger. Because I know how she feels not being able to have bread.
Yeah.
So
it was rough. So when people bring me the wrong salad, I say, I'm sorry, I can't eat this. It has bread on it. I said, could you bring me a new one? And they try to take it, and I said, no, can I keep this one until you come back with my new one? Because I don't want them to go in the bag and pull the croutons off and bring me it back.
Right.
Because
so you have to be careful. So you have to be careful, and I have to be careful what I order, so I make sure they don't get confused. So I just when we go out, I don't eat any bread. I don't eat any salad with croutons on it. I don't get any. I won't eat anything with bread because I just so afraid.
I'm extremely sensitive.
Yeah. So that's how we do. So even at the house. So what I had to do was, for dressing and stuff, I had to start trying to look at different flours and stuff. Now there's a whole lot of new stuff now that's really good.
There's a lot of new stuff.
But when I was doing it, man, I had to get these different flours and mix them together to try to make dressing.
And the flours they had when they first came out, bless them, they came out with them, but they were terrible. But was it Betty Crocker? One of the cake industries. Betty Crocker. I think she had employees that had gluten allergies, and they asked her to come out with them. That was a lifesaver.
That's really a blessing, because then she could have. I could even make a cake, but even at that time, even when you made it,
but you had to make two boxes of cake to make an actual cake.
Yeah.
So
So what I would do is I would make a cake for the kids regular, then I would make a cake for her. I would make the pie. I would make pies like sweet potato pies and cobblers and stuff. She couldn't have. For a while she couldn't have it, but when I started experimenting with the different flours I had, I would make a dessert for her and a dessert for them. So that way she didn't feel like she was losing, because I didn't want to eat dessert if she couldn't have it. I just how I felt. And I told the kids, they said, Dad, you need to make it. I said, I can't, because your mom can't have it. It's not right for us to eat it if mom can't have it. So we all just kind of, wouldn't have it, because she wouldn't have it. She couldn't have it. And then when I started experimenting with different flours and stuff, and like I said, over the years they've made stuff now that's a whole lot better. So now I can make her cakes. I can make her cheesecakes. I can make her cobblers.
But it took a lot for me, because I used to make stuff for your work, for holidays. I used to do that, and for the kids,
She used to
things.
bake. She used
I
to
used
bake.
to bake
But
stuff.
now making cakes and stuff, breathing that flour in, she couldn't do it anymore.
And I would try to do it, and I would like literally have to like tie something around my face, or you know, and it just
even makeup. They use it for anti-caking and stuff like that.
Now nobody would believe me. I told my doctor. I said. I realized I washed my. I know because we were talking.
Oh,
about
we're talking about gluten-free.
And then the thing is, when I got sick, you know, when I first started getting sick, I said, "Well, you know what, Lord?" I said, "If something I'm supposed to learn from this, so I can help somebody else." And it's funny how many people I met afterwards that told me I feel this way or my kid feels this way, and I said, "You know what? Why don't you try not to eat wheat for 2 weeks and see if it feels better?" And sure enough, these people have had a gluten allergy.
Yeah.
But so sometimes things I go through is to help somebody else, and I'm okay with that, you know. But I just got to the point I was like, Lord, please bring me out of this.
She couldn't,
because I can't take it no more.
She said, I want bread so bad. She said, Gary, I want bread so bad.
But
and I really haven't.
But I got over it because you could be sick. I would be laying out on the floor because the cold floor felt good to me because I just was so miserable. But back to what I was going to say. I washed my hair, and I had started I would literally eat the same stuff. So I knew what was safe. I would that was safe to me to eat the same thing for breakfast and lunch and dinner. I knew what was safe. So, but I was still getting sick. I couldn't figure out why was I still getting sick. So I said, what did I do before I started feeling sick? And I'm like, I washed my hair. So then I looked at the bottle, and I had bought this shampoo that had wheat germ or wheat grass or wheat, it had some kind of wheat in it. So I was telling my doctor about it, and he said, he just laughed. He goes, that's not possible. And I said, well, it's got to be possible because I got sick. And I said, and I've been watching very carefully what I eat. And I said, and that's what I had. That's what happened. So I was kind of mad. I said, I'm sitting here keeping a journal, and I know what I did last before I got sick. So then the next time I washed my hair, I got sick again with that same shampoo because I just want to see, is it my mind or what? I got sick again from that shampoo. Then I was using a makeup, and I said, okay, now what in the heck, And then I called the company, and I'm like, okay, what other ingredients are in there? So then I started noticing it was wheat in there. Okay, so because they're using it as a caking agent, like you said. So then I had to start lipstick. Okay. Oh wait, my lips are feeling funny, Yeah. But then there's also, what was the other thing that I had there was wheat in?
I don't know. There were so many things that we discovered.
There's one more thing that was really important. Oh, medication.
Yeah, some medicines have it too.
I started thinking, what did I have last that I was sick? And I had to call the maker of the medication, and it was blood pressure medicine, the Lisinopril. It had wheat in it.
Yeah.
So
anyway, make a long story short.
Yeah.
Now I can make stuff gluten free for her, so I do my best to try to make and surprise her with stuff. So this is another thing that now we've discovered that she could have this, because she never had this cake before, to the day. So thank
which
God
is
for
bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because don't really need it.
Don't need it though, but we only ate a couple pieces, y'all. So
so we'll flash freeze, and
so
every now and then
so we're gonna let you go. And what do we need to do?
We need to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
You went over. You need to look at the clock.
Hey, we need to put a timer out here, because I'm, used to
the director
somebody
not here.
us.
She be getting on us for going over. But anyway, we got to do what again now?
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
As always, be good to one another. Be safe. Spread love. Be patient. You guys take care.
God bless you.
See you. This is your boy G. I'm out.